Good evening, Karuna. How's it going? So let's begin immediately. I've already had a quick look through your essay, and your task response is okay. But I would say that your biggest point to improve here is your coherence and cohesion. Some of your sentences are a little bit confusing, but let's start with your introduction. So the method of schooling has been a contentious issue resulting in demand for an educational revolution. I would say from many. A demand from many over the last century. I firmly advocate that schools must impart practical knowledge instead of memorising British English text, so that let's say they. So you've said schools here, so then we can just say so that they can. So this is a bit too general, and I think this is a bit too severe to destroy the cognitive skills. That's something that like an illness would do. It would take something much more severe than just an ineffective education to destroy cognitive skills. So let's talk about improve the prospects of students instead of damaging them. This essay will discuss alternative methods to improve the education system and how traditional education is proving to be harmful, using examples from smart classes and surveys to demonstrate and prove arguments. Okay, that's not bad. But then once we get down into the paragraphs, let me just see if I can offer you some corrections. So, the introduction of practical and visual demonstrations in classes can make the minds of children, we can use the children here actually, more receptive. This is due to the fact that almost all humans, I can't quite understand what this means. This is due to the fact that almost all humans tend as it not monotonous. I simply can't extract the meaning from this. I think what you might want to talk about here is the fact that visual and practical demonstrations are more engaging, which helps children to remember and understand information, enhancing their learning. For example, the concept of smart classes, I would just say, has gained considerable popularity in India, and the vast majority of schools in the metropolitan cities prefer to inculcate learning via smart classes. As they are, I've already used this up here, so I'll change this one to significantly. As they are a significantly better alternative for learning at school. Okay, so one thing, smart classes using visual and practical demonstrations, these already exist. So while they are new, really we should be proposing, I suppose, more innovative solutions than this. But overall, this paragraph is okay, but this sentence I struggle to understand. Here we've used traditional too many times, so let's say conventional education is ruining the thinking ability of students. Let's say as the majority of teachers push the students. I don't know what this means. I think we should just use that to memorize the text in order to get good grades. As a result, comma, children invest the majority of their time in memorizing the books instead of having an innovative and rational approach. For instance, a recent survey by the Times in 2016 revealed that 80% of students in Delhi alone felt that memorizing the answers can actually harm their ability and performance at school. To define is to explain fully, is to give it name, give it terms. Consequently, students do not invest time. So this is a point. This is not strictly related to the rest of your paragraph. This feels like it's an additional bit on the end. If you're going to use a consequently sentence at the end, we should say consequently something like consequently students invest all of their time it actually has a name, so let me write this down for you. Actually, students invest all of their time in rote learning, which is the memorization technique, and often fail to develop innate skills and talents. To conclude, from the above examples and arguments, it is clear that a change is required in the schooling system to free children from the constraints of bookish knowledge, as it can have negative implications for future prospects. So take care to make sure that your sentences, like when you write one down, just read it back to yourself, or even before you write it down, go over it in your head, say it out loud to yourself in your mind, and just think, does this really make 100% sense? Because in order to score a band 7, we must reduce the number of errors we make to as little as possible, as few as possible. So you have covered how it's doing more harm than good. You have covered an alternative. So your task response is okay, but you may let yourself down on coherence and cohesion if you don't give your sentences a good think first. But let's move on to your next piece. So I am writing in regard because regards is a greeting, but to regard something is to direct attention towards it. I'm writing in regard. Actually, you can't use both of these, so it would be better just to say, I am writing to express my dissatisfaction with your customer's service last week. I dined at your restaurant last Sunday with my family, and none of your waiters attended to us for a full half an hour. And then we can say, while taking the food order, the waiter assured us that dinner would be served to us within 15 minutes. Unfortunately, the food reached our table after an hour's delay. Good use of this. When I questioned your team about the delay, they paid no heed, wonderful, and responded carelessly. So that goes like that. And we should say they responded carelessly with, and then the quote. If you are in a hurry, hurry, go somewhere else. This kind of rude behaviour is unacceptable in any restaurant. Moreover, the quality of the food was not up to the mark, and my child got, just this one word, yeah. It was not up to the mark, and my child got a stomach infection after consuming it. We've already said the food up here, so we can just say it down here. Kindly refund my money, and I regret to say that this was the worst meal I have ever had. I will make sure to rate your services online on your website so that other people can come to know about your poor hospitality. Let me know if you want any details to process the refund. Require. Don't ask them what they want. We are making a demand. And here, I expect the refund will not take very long. And if you want to be super British about this, so if we're being polite, we send kind regards or warm regards. But if we're being rude in Britain, we just send regards. So we're still polite, but we know what this means. If someone just sends regards without warm or kind in front of it, we know that they're trying to be rude. So just to make sure that you do have as much practice as possible, I'm going to send you another 2 essays and correct those for free. So I'll send these over to you now, and I will look forward to your final pieces. All the best, Karuna. Speak to you very soon.